No matter what.
Yay! We got asked to record because of the number of people that have actually sent in. We actually had over 42 people come in saying that they wanted in, but only a bunch of them couldn't make it on time. So I said, don't worry, we'll record. And we've got that going because Lord knows people want that to see us. And now, no, well, I don't want to do that. Well, I guess I do that, right? And I come over and I got to find Lindsey again to reactivate her.
Got you.
Yay! So, and then I need to go over here.
Gotta go share screen
And
click that one.
so don't share the Excel spreadsheet of everybody who's here?
No.
Okay. And where
I've
is that?
never done that before, ever.
And hit that.
Okay.
Look, oh, that's not that's the beginning. Yay! We did it. So a lot of people wonder why we do these. Why we do these kind of like once a month. And there's a couple things. One, everything in Virgin's world is changing rapidly. And part of that has to do with the fact that it is expanding. You currently have 3 ships that are going to be in the water here shortly, and then the 4th one by the end of the year. So we always kind of come in. We always like having a little bit of fun. Since it's Virgin, you got to have a little fun. So we actually go on and put on our little pub crawl mask. We might dress up for Scarlet Night. And everyone is always hoping that Scott dressed up for Scarlet Night. But don't worry, Pat. I told him we're not going to go off this thing until he does a twirl for you. So there you go. But things have changed, and we get to talk about it. And this tonight is a brand new presentation that, like, none of us have seen before, including me. So let's see what we go with. Who we are. You guys, a couple things. One, you can go ahead and you can follow us on the Connected Traveler on Facebook. We also have put together a brilliant lady, San Juan Mermaiden. If everyone's wondering why are we talking about New Year's Eve so early in the year, has anyone searched to see the availability for New Year's Eve on the Brilliant Lady?
It's going fast.
There are
so fast.
online right now. I searched it just about an hour ago to see what was available. Online right now. I'm going to give this to you because I keep getting, the person with ADHD should not be watching these clips that come in saying, admit these people. But right now what's happening is if you do a search, there are no rooms other than, I believe it was a sea view and a sea terrace. Nothing else shows. But lucky for everyone here, Lindsey turned to me one day and said, you need to go ahead and you need to put in some reservations for your circle. And as a result of that, we may have other rooms available. I'm just saying. So we've got everything rolling and we're doing it really well. And just as an aside, if you are not muted, please go ahead and mute yourself at the moment. You can always throw in questions into the chat. We do monitor it and we won't answer all of them. And do that, but otherwise, who we are, you've got your Smoky Mountain Bears here, Scott and Sean, and then you also have Miss Lindsey from Virgin Voyages, who is in charge of 25 states, and then just got another promotion, so she's in charge of more than what she was. Yeah.
When you've been around for so long, eventually they're like, hey, let's just make you in charge of a ship. Sounds great, right? Woohoo.
And you know what's funny about this? I'm gonna ask somebody who's, did you get another pop-up because they couldn't get in?
No.
All right, so what's going on? We're gonna run through this together, and we are gonna focus a lot on what the changes are, because everyone's asked a few questions like, are the shows gonna change? Is there gonna be different formats of things? What's going on with food? Is there gonna be other food ideas? And then we're gonna focus on the Brilliant Lady and San Juan experience itself and all the lovely changes. So go ahead. And we're going to go to the next slide at some point.
And I cannot wait to see everyone's outfits. You see, I like to coordinate my suits. I like to bring it, but with Sean and Scott, I can't keep up. I can't wait.
Miss Lindsey.
Yes.
This slide looks familiar.
Oh, it does. Look at you guys. Oh my goodness. Look, I know this slide all too well. Can I talk on it?
Please.
Okay, guys, so welcome. My name is Lindsey been with Virgin Voyages for about 4.5 years and work very close with the amazing Sean to make sure you guys are taken care of. But let me show you my beautiful lady ships. They're all around the same size. It's almost like they're from a mermaid of the same mother. They're all medium-sized ship. It's totally small in a feel of you're not on a big city at sea. We have our beautiful Scarlet Lady that's not far from me here in the port of Miami. She's actually going to be staying here in Miami doing 4 and 5 night sailings. Then you have our Valiant Lady, who is the diva of everyone's heart. She actually spends her winters here in Miami, and then she floats over to Barcelona for the summers, because who doesn't want a summer in the Med? And then, of course, we've got our third ship, Resilient Lady. She's actually going to be launched May of 2023 this year, so just short couple of weeks from now. She's actually going to be in Athens, Greece, and so stunning. She's going to be going from Athens, Greece to Australia, New Zealand, and then coming back. Some really great itineraries there for her. And then we have our fourth and final ship. That is our Brilliant Lady. She's going to round off our fleet. She's actually going to have her inaugural sailing in December of this year. Yes, we are launching 2 ships in the same year. Send us lots of positive vibes, because here we go. Why not be a little rebellious with it? But yes, we will have our Brilliant Lady, and her home port is actually going to be San Juan, Puerto Rico, and she's going to be doing 7 night sailings. Now, I always like to kind of show the length and the gross tonnage of the ships, as well as, you know, how many crew are on the ship, because there's a lot of people that ask, you know, how many sailors, which is what we call our guests on board, how many sailors versus how many crew. So it's basically about 1 crew member for every 2 sailors on board. So there's always someone there to make sure you're taken care of, and you don't feel like you're, like I said, in mega crowds. All right, that's our beautiful ships, guys.
And that is true, even with all of my personalities.
Oh, that is
Okay.
very true.
So it's very true. So now, let me tell you, we always included as luxury. This, Lindsay, do you want this?
I got you. All right. So the always included luxury. This is just something that we feel like should be included no matter where you go, but don't worry, at least it's included when you're sailing with Virgin Voyages. Your 20+ eateries on the ship is included, whether you want a bento box over on deck 15 or 16 close to the pool, or if you want to go grab a pizza, I highly suggest the Pretty Fly for a white pie if you do. If you want to go grab a scoop at Lick Me Till I Scream, or of course, if you want to have a sit-down meal at our in-house restaurants, we've got you covered on the food portion. So enjoy every meal, especially the Michelin style chef cuisines, and just have a great time with that. The shows and entertainment is also included, but don't worry, you're not going to see Broadway at sea, because if you wanted to see Broadway, where would you go? Broadway. Come on. Exactly. We don't want to bore you to death. We all seen Hamilton. We love it, but it belongs to Broadway. We're going to have new shows that are actually going to be introduced in May, and I get a chance to see them at the end of May. So I'll have lots of details for Sean and Scott of all my adventures. But with our new shows, we are also keeping some of our favorites, including Dual Reality, which is an acrobatic version of Romeo and Juliet. We still have our Untitled Dance Party thing. My favorite in that whole show is the cat. And if you've seen the show, you know exactly why. And what I absolutely love is our group fitness classes are also included. So if you want to get together and do a spin class, yoga class, or if you want some meditation, if you want to do some bungee workouts, or of course, what I just started doing is HIIT classes. So anybody can join me for a HIIT class, completely included in your voyage fare, which I absolutely love. Now, tips and gratuities are also included in your voyage, which is really nice, because you don't have to worry about what the percentage is and how much should you give them. And plus, you don't have our crew giving you any kind of hard sells so you can tip them more, because they're taken care of. You don't even have to worry about it. Gratuities are already included in all the prices that you see. So if it says $5 Heineken, that's exactly what it is. Okay. Wi-Fi is a basic necessity everyone needs in their life. I know if I tried to take Sean's Wi-Fi away from him, Scott would have to revive him over to the side. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you go without your Wi-Fi, but not only am I going to make sure you have your Wi-Fi where you can, stay social, you can still text, you're perfectly fine with the basic Wi-Fi, but I'm also going to make sure that every person in the cabin has 2 devices that they can use on their Wi-Fi, no problem. And there's not Wi-Fi by, oh, it's free for 15 minutes and then you have to pay, or when we're in ports, it's not. No, it's the whole time you're on the ship and while you're at the beach club at Bimini, Wi-Fi is included. So enjoy and have fun with that. How'd I do?
Thumbs up here. And this is what I really like pointing out is it does pay to prepay. So right now, there's of course an incentive, and the first 3 people I see on here, I know that they all have $600 on New Year's Eve of a free bar tab sailor loot. But what
So they're
happens
going to be
if you
buying me a
didn't
drink.
have that? Because guess what? That promotion ends this month. So for anyone who hasn't already joined the sailing, if you joined after this month, know this, you're going to have a bar tab you're going to probably want to purchase. And so Virgin kind of rewards those who buy that bar tab in advance. They'll go ahead and give you a bonus of $50. So if you go ahead and purchase a bar tab at $300, they'll give you $350 worth of bar tab sailor loot. And everyone likes to ask, well, what does this really mean on Virgin? Is that going to get me anything? And this is what I think is so funny. Most of you know that we live in Dolly Parton's hometown. We're out in the middle of nowhere, right? And here's the thing. If we go out to eat, we can't get a beer. We can't get a Heineken or an Amstel Light for $6, including tax and tip where we live. It won't happen. So that being said, look at this. For a beer is $5 to $6, tip included. Looking at basic cocktails, $9, tip included, right? Most of the wines, over 42% of the wines on board are less than $10 a glass. So these pricing, the pricing is right there, and it's cheaper for us to actually have a drink on board the ship than it is for us to go have a drink out somewhere in town.
And there's a lot of times when I come into a port and I'm like, you know what, I'll just wait and get something on the ship. That enchilada looks really good. However, I could go get one for cheaper on the ship. Thanks, guys. Every time.
And the other thing that's so amazing about this, Virgin has won, it's time tested at this point, and I say that as a very young cruise line. It has now more 5-star reviews on TripAdvisor than any other cruise line. And of course, they just won US News Best New Cruise Line, right? So it is only getting better. They're actually taking the comments and they're changing everything for us. So now we get to say, now we're voyaging, but Lindsey, we're not as tech savvy as you. We don't have the same video access that you have.
Oh, that's okay.
So let me just tell you, this is what you get.
Okay, I'm ready. Woohoo!
Oops.
I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
We're hoping we're ready.
We don't have sound, but I'm trying to see if I can fix it for everyone.
The sound's not coming out?
It's not, but I can sing it in my head.
Share screen. You share. We're trying to see share sound right there. All right. Picking back up where we left off.
Gold and green, red, gold and green. Come on, camellia. Now we're voyaging.
So you all saw at the end that there were people in the swimming pool on Scarlet Night, right? So it's okay. Lindsay did the same thing. So here's the thing. Now you know why we're wearing caftans. Okay.
Did you see me in there, Sean and Scott?
I saw the inspiration for me when somebody had roller skates on and didn't fall down, and then but I fell down, so I don't know what they were doing.
Next time you watch, look around the pool area. I'm back there in the background. I'm
So
like Waldo.
stay on board. Of course, Lindsay's favorite cabin that she likes to start with is the sea terrace. Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So, of course, I adore the hammock life. Look, I love the suite life too. However, the sea terrace just kind of captured my heart when we were doing the launch in New York. And of course, when we were doing the Mermaiden here for Scarlet. Something about it just feels very homey, and it just makes me feel like I'm welcomed in. What I absolutely love is right now you're seeing our sea bed set up for 2 people, which is really rare that we see in our images, but we can also set it up to where it's a European queen size, where it flips over and there's space for 2 people, which I absolutely love. But whenever you walk into your cabin, you've got mood lighting, the curtains kind of open up, and it feels like it just welcomes you home. Your cabin woke up as you got closer. That beautiful tablet over there on your desk connects to all of your lighting, as well as the TV, your curtains. And it's so much fun to just get in your cabin, see all the different spaces, nooks and crannies, and just disappear into your hammock and watch those waves go by.
Absolutely. And I just love how we get the different modes. And then, of course, we have our Rockstar and Mega Rockstar suites. Woo!
Yes. Now, I love a good Rockstar and Mega Rockstar suite. So when it comes to the bed that you just saw, that's a European king size. So it's a European queen size for the sea terrace, European king size. Now, where the sea terrace can actually split into 2 different bed configurations, the European king size and the suites, they do stay at 1 piece. It does not flip. It's a fixed fixture. So I always like to kind of highlight that, because a lot of our suites do fit up to 4 people. But what it is you have the full bed, the European king size bed, and then you have the couch area that turns into that where it fits 2 more. It's just so those that are interested in coming in for a party of 4 in your suites, you're all set. And you will definitely find me playing right there on those beautiful guitars in our massive suite. There's 2 of those. I have hosted a cocktail party on the massive suite, and I know that someone in this group is ready to host a cocktail party on the massive suite also. Sean, I'm looking at you. I definitely see you there, right there at that beautiful roundabout couch area. But I love when you're in a Rockstar or Mega Rockstar, because not only is your in-suite bar on us the whole round, but you also have access to special places on the ship that only Rockstars are available to go on. And we've even gotten it to the point where at first we were saying, sure, if you have friends that aren't in Rockstars, they're able to come in too, as long as you escort them in. Now our ships are getting so full, it is just for Rockstars suite sailors. So it's highly just a really nice exclusive area that you can only get into if you're in a Rockstar suite. And of course, you have your beautiful Rockstar roadies that are there to help you with any dining or shows that while you get on board. And it's really nice to have that extra concierge feel while you're really living that VIP Rockstar lifestyle on the ship.
And you said something that was really important, and that is that now the ships are getting more full. And we already talked about New Year's Eve. If you go online and look, there's only 2 types of cabins that are available. So that's kind of amazing to me. But here's the thing. If you watch Chelsea Swan on her YouTube channel, she's one of the crew members there. And let me tell you, it is amazing, because she just went on the one that had over 2,200 people. And everything that was, it worked like clockwork. The entertainment staff did an amazing job. Everybody was able to get in without any problems. And I have 4 sailors that were on that this week where it was basically sold out. And all 4 of them reported that one of them didn't even have a single reservation when she got on board, and she hasn't had any problems. So they really kind of stepped up the game on how to do this. That being said, there are plenty of places to eat, which is one of the things that, as we all know, is very important to me. So you have over 20 plus eateries are on board, and there are no buffets, right? There's no big dining hall. Everything's made to order at all of those eateries across the ship. And you start out where you have the Wake, which is the steakhouse. You can go to Pink Agave, which is kind of our elevated Mexican. Then we have Razzle Dazzle, the vegan inspired restaurant, and make sure you ask for the secret menu so that way you can go ahead and get one of the best steaks on board at the vegan inspired restaurant. Then go ahead and you can go to Test Kitchen, where you can kind of sample everything out there, because it's all about the cuisine. It's all about textures. It's about pairings. And then, of course, we have Gunbei, which nobody else has at sea, right? The Korean barbecue restaurant. And it will start with a drinking game, just to give you a heads up. And then we have one of Scott's favorites, Extra Virgin.
So I won the Gumbe.
Yes, you did. You did. He did. So, so Extra Virgin though, that's our Italian inspired restaurant. And again, it's one of my favorites on board. I think it kind of goes back and forth a lot for favorite restaurants. You'll hear people talk about the Wake, Extra Virgin, and Pink Agave, and it kind of goes back and forth every week.
Sorry,
So-
somebody else.
Yep.
What
no
I
problem.
absolutely love is you can also order ship eats to your room. Did you get a chance to do that when you guys were on? Mary Jo, what about you?
It's one of the first things that everybody does. It's a little sailor hack that I've told them. The first day that you're on board, that refrigerator's in there waiting for you, but it's lonely and it's sad because there's nothing inside. And so what I tell you them to do is do one order, and they can go ahead and do an order for 20 Diet Cokes, whatever they want. Have that delivered so that way when they get back to their cabins after booking all night, they have something there, whether it's something to snack on or just to have a drink.
Very good. I love that you've already got everyone ready for ship eats and all of the food on board.
And I also taught them how to invert the tissue box so that way they could go ahead and put all their toiletries inside.
There you go.
So again, well, we kind of covered all the eateries. The eateries all around ship. So there's the pizza place. There's, you name it, it's available to you, and there's food basically 24/7. Everything else. But now for the thing that's really an update, people keep asking about what is going on with the entertainment. Is it changing? Yes. Are there differences? Yes. Will Never Sleep Alone is not there right now, but don't worry. It looks like a reboot 2.0 may be coming in the future. Let's just put it out there. When it's a hit show, they usually will go ahead and they try to come back with something else. But they are keeping some of the fan favorites because people would actually, apparently there was rioting when they heard that dual reality may change. And then no, there was rioting and mass chaos in the streets. It was horrible. I don't remember what else happened. I was drinking at the time. But when so we had dual reality. And then of course they are keeping the Untitled Dance Party thing, which I've never seen.
Okay, we got to make a date. Promise.
But
Okay.
I do think it's very important. So Lindsey, we do have a couple of your little slides up here, but please know there are new shows that are coming, and you want to go ahead and cover. Wait, you're looking at me.
No,
I was going to let Lindsey knows this better than I do.
I'll just switch to the next one.
By
No
the way,
problem.
Lindsey, we're on at the end of May also. So, and I board before you do, so I'll be calling you to let you know which ones it is.
Oh, wait, I'm on April 28th. Where are you?
Oh, we're May 20th.
Ah, see, gotcha. Next time. Okay, guys, so I'm still new to the new shows. Obviously, they haven't gone live yet. They don't until the beginning of April. But what I love is we're starting to see more dinner show type entertainment that's coming along. It's called our supper series. Yes, and a Southern girl, I love that they said supper. So happy they did. But it's a lot of entertainment. It's going to be like a cabaret type feel when you're doing these Another Rose, or of course we have what is it, Lola's Closet is another one. But there's a lot of new experiences coming, a lot of experiences like I've never seen. You're going to see a lot of them right there in the Manor, that 2-story nightclub area, of course in the Red Room as well. And then not only that for our actual entertainment, but we're actually changing up a bit more of our happenings cast and having them out doing more entertainment throughout the spaces of the ship. So don't be surprised if you see all new faces and all new shows, including a couple of secret shows that we're adding that you have to have a special invitation for. So you'll have
And
to,
everyone
rub
remember how to
noses.
get that special invitation,
That's all
right?
right.
I tell everyone, ask. Ask the
Mhm.
crew members when you get on, ask the happenings cast. As soon as you board, you're going to see them as you're walking on. I think we should bring back that video so that way they know, like everybody can see the happenings cast are waiting for you. Ask them in particular, now that they're changing up some of the restaurants and everything, ask them what they like to eat. Ask them the best places. And then ask them, is there something on board the ship that you should definitely see? Say, hey, do you do a show that I should see? Right? The only way to go into these things is you just have to remember, act like you were in kindergarten and ask all the time.
Exactly.
And one of the things that's coming back and a change that they're making is they're kind of bringing back that big Hollywood era where they wanted to go ahead and put on those big glamorous dinner shows. And so that they're introducing the Supper Club series. Hit the next one. And then, of course, there's going to be some other things that are going to go ahead and debut. There's going to be more live music across the ship, more impromptu performances across the ship. And one of the newest shows is actually going to begin on the Brilliant Lady, and that is Persephone. So that was my clue to, I raised the voice up. You could pick it up from there so she'd know. I was like, I thought she would keep going with it, but you know, I'm totally going to judge her later. I won't do it right now because we're in this thing, but I'll judge her later.
I was waiting for you. You know it all.
So
Oh,
again,
I
saying
love the
shipwide, they're
outfits.
keeping some things. They're not getting rid of Scarlet Night. Hence, we have the caftans with the bathing suits. Then, of course, they're keeping PJ Night. Yay, because we need to have our milk and cookies. And don't worry, Studio 72 is not going anywhere either. I did not pick out these pictures. Wasn't there another picture? I thought there was. Oh, I know which one it is. Okay, so now let's talk about the Brilliant Lady San Juan Mermaiden. Yay! That's what we're here for. It is going to be December 30th through January 6th on the Brilliant Lady. And it is our San Juan Mermaiden. That means it's her first voyage on this route. And we start out in San Juan. And what are we going to do in San Juan? There's all types of things to do there. So one thing you'll see, there's the rainforest, there's everything. It's actually one of the only spots in the Northern Hemisphere that you can get to that rainforest. And as we have it, boom, where are we going to stay? So let's talk about a couple options. If anyone has gone online to look at New Year's Eve in Puerto Rico and look at hotels, I know a few of you have, you'll find that is actually outrageous. And in terms of the hotel rate, hotels that are normally $250 are going for $599 to $699 a night. A lot of the hotels are requiring a minimum of 5 nights and more. So I have gone ahead and I've done some contracting, and I'll be able to send everybody a link. If you're interested, we have at the Residence Inn on Isla Verde. So that is actually, we've got that down for $289 a night. If you go on Expedia right now, it's $339. Of course, Expedia also says there's only 5 rooms left. We may have a block of rooms over there for people that are coming in early. Because remember, most of us are coming in around the 28th, right? Because you don't really want to fly the 29th if you can avoid it, right? But if you come in the 28th, not only is it a little bit cheaper on your flight, but guess what? There are options for you once you get there. So that was option number 1. For those that have that want a different type of experience, if you would like that true luxury hotel experience, this is the OLV. Is an adults only hotel. It has won every award out there. It's ranked as one of the top hotels in the world. It has a sister property called the Olive Hotel right here. They basically touch, okay? They're across, they're to get them, you kind of, it's across the street from one another, but the 2 hotels, because they're built kind of back to back, they essentially touch. If you're staying in one, you can use the other and vice versa. On that prior screen there, one of the things that was up there was that actually that was a 1973 Bentley, right? Or was it 1973 Rolls? And that is actually sitting in the dining room. That is a DJ booth over at the OLV. Online, the hotel, the rooms that are currently going for over, some of them are over $1,000. Expedia right now, the cheapest one at the OLV is $699. The cheapest one at the Olive is $649. However, I was able to block off rooms and get negotiated rates. So anyone who wants to stay there, the rate is $599 $539, starting at $539. Now, obviously, if you want the honeymoon suite, it's higher, but I think it's only 700 something.
729.
Yeah, so and if you go on and if you call the hotel, they will tell you that it is actually something along the lines of $1,500. So we have special contracted rates for those two. And then we also have the Marriott Residence Inn at El Verde. All of them are in incredible locations. So the reason we picked these is because it's going to be very centrally located because you're coming into town early and we want you to be able to go enjoy some things. So with that being said, I have sent everyone, I believe, and if not, and some of this will be posted over in the Facebook group as well. So anyone who needs it, this is a special page that we've done for the cruise by itself. Now, when you first click on the page, when we send it over to you, what you'll see is kind of over here on the left-hand side of the screen, and it will just kind of give you, that's the phone version of it, but it will go ahead and it will give you an idea. This is the Brilliant Lady San Juan Mermaiden. You're going to have, it will talk about excursions. That first page is going to show you sample excursions, highlights for each port. If you want to see more, it says click on the itinerary to see the full, to see everything. So just click on the itinerary and then it will take you over and it will show you some of the different tours and things that you can do once you get to San Juan. Because you're there early, so let's take advantage of it. So there's walking tours of Old San Juan, there's eating tours, there's cocktails and sunset tours. And then, of course, there's all types of culinary trails and dancing experiences as well. There's tons and tons of beach and scuba and everything. You name it, it's there and it's available to you. Now, I figured you all might come in, you'll be a little groggy the first day, you'll have to go, maybe you'll go try a walking tour to get the shake out a little bit, but keep going. Oh, it went away. We lost one, but okay. I went out of order, but here we go. So in any event, when you get there, one of the highlights that we wanted to do though is say, hey, wait a minute. You know how I always like to make sure that we do something unique and different that no one else does, or provide an experience that you can't get elsewhere, and that you won't get again. So one of the things that we've done is we've actually talked to this rum factory. It's called Ron del Barrilito, which means basically little barrel. And they are, so our highlight is going to be this Friday evening itinerary. And this is their history.
Our story starts all the way back in the 1870s, when Pedro Fernandez returned home to Hacienda Santa Ana in Bayamón, Puerto Rico, after studying chemical engineering in Paris, France. Over there, he learned the art of making fine brandies and cognacs, techniques he then applied to making rum. He got so good at that his visitors kept asking him for more rum from the barrilito, Spanish for the little barrel in which he kept his finished product back then. Now armed with a name, Fernandez started to sell Ron del Barrilito in 1880, making it the oldest rum brand in Puerto Rico. And that's about it, really. We haven't changed Pedro Fernandez's process. For more than 140 years now, we've been making Ron del Barrilito in the same place and in the same way he did. Before they are aged, our rums go through a maceration process in which a small part of each batch is infused with natural fruits and spices to add character. We then age our rums in 500-liter oak barrels that were previously used to age Oloroso sherry in Spain. We never use artificial flavorings, colorings, or added sugars. The only water we use in our process is naturally harvested from the rain. All of our rums are 43% alcohol by volume and are made using the same process. The main difference between them is simply the amount of time they spend aging in our barrels. 2 Stars is a younger rum, aged 3 to 5 years, crafted as a way to return to market sooner after Prohibition was abolished in the 1930s. 3 Stars, the original Ron del Barrilito, is a blend of rums aged 6 to 10 years. 4 Stars is our most recent blend, aged up to 20 years and so limited in quantity that you can only purchase it at Hacienda Santa Ana. Finally, 5 Stars features the flavors and character of our oldest rums, aged up to 35 years. It's a one-time edition with extremely limited availability. We also produce Ron Hacienda Santa Ana, our venture into the non-traditional overproof rum category. It's aged for 2 years and is 69% alcohol by volume. You can come see all of this for yourself at our recently opened visitor center at Hacienda Santa Ana, where we offer historical tours, tasting experiences, and mixology classes. We welcome thousands of guests a year who become unofficial brand ambassadors
Oh, you're not allowed to do
after
that.
their visit. As we look into the future, we look to improve our distribution logistics and reach more corners of the world, all without ever changing what we do or who we are.
So what's really neat about this is this family, nothing has changed really over time, but they're actually one of the more influential families that was involved in the development of Puerto Rico. So when we go, they're actually going to give us a historical perspective with respect to San Juan, the development of San Juan. I mean, that house you see has been with them since the 1700s. Same family home. So it's kind of amazing because all the different things that they do. So when we get there, we wondered what we were going to do. Now, I was going to have a lovely guest tonight, and unfortunately, her child got very, very sick, and so she ran out. But she sent a video, which I could not put in my lovely presentation. Now I'm playing it, I'm talking over it, but here's the thing. I wasn't able to put it in there because it literally came in. She ran outside, so that way you wouldn't see that she was over outside the hospital. But I couldn't mix it all in time. So I'm gonna just play this because it's only 20 seconds. So you can see she wanted to at least say hello to everybody and say that. Of course, now I can't seem to go ahead and get this thing to blow it.
Franco is the events coordinator for Ron del Barrilito. I slightly informed that I'm not going to be able to make the meeting just because of time change. But in any case that you need any help with anything, let me know. I will be glad to help you guys. Good night.
And so she sent over all the lovely, she sent over a whole bunch of videos for us so that way we could see, but she's actually helped planning this. So this factory is actually going to be shut down when we get there, meaning that we are going to be the only guests. At which point they're going to go ahead and they're going to take us and we'll have a rum tasting as well as a mixology class. So half of us will be learning about how to mix drinks and the other half are going to be drinking them. And then from there, we will go and take it. Now, we do recognize that not everyone likes to have a drink. But the history of this place and the historic plantation itself and how important it is to San Juan, this is something that it's the experience alone is going to be amazing. And we wanted it to be a full cultural experience. So they are actually going to bring in, it's the next thing of video. They want, yay, they're actually bringing in musicians. They're also going to have special guests coming in several of the area's top restaurants to make topics for us. So my ladies have only so the chances of us being able to taste everything at all those restaurants. Now, you all met me, you know I'm willing to give it a college try to get to all of them, but I mean, the distance between some of them is just going to be too much. And there's not a wheelbarrow that's going to be big enough to take me all over the place. But at least here, what will happen is they're going to have them brought in and we're going to have a lovely tapas tasting, some dancing and some traditional music, as well as folks teaching us about San Juan and the development of San Juan and the historical perspectives from it. So that being said, the next day we're going to go ahead and we're going to all go on over and board the ship. Yay! And of course, everybody knows that when we board the ship, we meet the happenings cast, we ask questions, and we have this great idea that, you know, we usually try to go ahead and make it so that way we have this big group dinner thing where we get everybody kind of running through razzle dazzle that first night, so that way you kind of get the feel of everything and you get to go off and explore. And by the way, you'll be in razzle dazzle, so if there's a grog walk, that's a good time to go for it. You're right there. Okay. But then the very next day, we suddenly are somewhere else. We end up in the British Virgin Islands. Dun, dun, dun. So that's the early home of Blackbeard the pirate. Can you talk like that? All right, well, we'll work on that for next time, okay?
That
Anybody
was
comes up with a really
dreadful.
good one? Yeah, see, I'm with Howard on this one, okay? So the thing is, we have Captain Kidd, we have Blackbeard, but there's all types of things to do, including going up Sage Mountain, hiking up Sage Mountain. There's snorkeling. There's catamarans that you can take out. because that's kind of true in almost all the ports though. And then you have the baths over at the Virgin Gorda. So I recommend that those are kind of ones that are not off the beaten path. All of these are within those excursions. Now that excursion itinerary I sent over, those are not part of the traditional Virgin excursions because obviously we don't have those yet, right? But this way it allows you to kind of start thinking about what you might want to do. So you can't use your sailor loot for that. And I know everyone here has a ton of sailor loot, but the thing is you won't use your sailor loot for that, but most of them are fairly inexpensive. I mean, they start out at like $15, I think. So we'll be able to go ahead and find something for everybody. And then of course, the next day, where do we go?
Guadalupe.
Okay, you know, he's from East Tennessee. Just go with it, all right? Just go with it. All right. So here's the thing. Guess what? If you go online anywhere, most places don't even offer excursions there. Isn't that a shame? Lindsey, you've been there before, right? No. So
This will be
she-
my first time in any of these islands just because it's with you guys. And I'm so excited.
I'm just
I'm
gonna
learning
say,
new things.
here's the deal. If you were interested in a possible, you know, exclusive group excursion, you know, throw a hand up, throw something in the chat so that way we know. But just so you're all aware, I may have gone ahead and found a way to go on and get other things involved. And get other and found a way to maybe get a private excursion from some folks. Now, you know, the island is most of the island is they'll speak English and French primarily. But we are getting everything together on all of this, and I will let you know that I've talked to them, and I actually have some arrangements so that way you can actually see and go to kind of all the different things because the islands are not that far apart. But if anyone's interested in a group excursion where we actually see kind of all the highlights, because the other thing is this is January 1. And we have learned that when you go somewhere on January 1 in the Caribbean, part of the island may be shut down. So be prepared, but we have already talked and we've talked to them. We were talking about having a kind of a private boat taking us out to see the different parts of the islands, as well as taking us over to 3 of the major hot springs and waterfall areas. So that way you can get some really great, you can have your Instagram moments. But at the same time, you've got these phenomenal hotbeds there. And it's really wild because people will even go in the middle, you know, when it's ice cold January and February, they're still sitting in there. And they were talking about how every so often you get this blast in there and they would move quickly. Let's just put it that way, when that would happen. So it's going to be a really good experience. Let me know, send me a note, send me a chat. I've got people coming in, texting, whatever, that's fine. But we do have some folks lined up to take us out, and it will be a really neat experience, as it always is. We were thinking of, and it will include lunch as well. So now the next part, we then get to go to Barbados. And in Barbados, there is a wildlife reserve. If you have not been, it is actually one of the more entertaining places to go and one of the more interesting places to go. And then, of course, you do have the Copacabana Beach Bar, which I know many of us just need to stop there because we want to sing the song. That's it. That's all I've got. So, and the next day, we are in St. Lucia. Yay. Here, if you have not done the aerial tram over the rainforest, now keep in mind, we will have seen the rainforest in San Juan because remember, it's only about 10 minutes outside the city. Okay. And we have different activity levels for the rainforest tours. But if you haven't done the aerial tram over the rainforest or visited Diamond Waterfall before, those would be 2 of the ones that I would definitely recommend. And then, of course, then we go over to St. John's. Now, here, you can go pet the stingrays at Stingray City if you'd like. Amazingly enough, that is available at many a shopping mall across the United States now. I don't know why that's caught on, but apparently it has. So I'm not going to go visit the stingrays here, but what I will do is I'll tell you, go to the Nelson's dockyard. You can also they have a boat around the bay, and that will take you pretty much as a tour of the highlights of all the cities. So on any of these recommendations that you're looking for, just let me know. And the very next day is, of course, a day at sea. Now, What do we do when there's a day at sea, people? Yeah, well, okay. Some people drink. Yes,
Champagne.
that's very true. We saw that. But I do remember the last time there was a day at sea, what we did last New Year's on a day at sea. What did we do? We went and we actually went and plated food with the foodie and made our own brunch, right? And our avocado toast. Did y'all have fun with that? See all these heads shaking, yes. Oh, I know, they're shaking their heads. That's all I got. So here's the thing, you know what? They can always throw a thumbs up in the chat or something. So we are actually working, we can't schedule it more than 120 days out, but we already have talked to them and explained that we're gonna want a group excursion on that day, a private exclusive group activity. And so there's, believe it or not, Circles has already emailed me back on that, Lindsey, surprise. And because of the size of my group here, and they were talking about how there might be there might be a couple different exclusive group activities for folks to choose from. So that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. So that's going to bring us back to San Juan. Now, when you get back to San Juan, we are coming back on a Saturday. Some people are staying over. I want to let you know that all of those excursions listed that I gave you in the excursion sheet and that separate website, they are all available to you on that Saturday as well as that Sunday. So if you have an afternoon or an evening flight and you want to do something, it's more than you're welcome to go do so. It's very easy to go ahead and register for those, and we'll do it. But before you get off the boat, we kind of have a tradition. We're going to have our goodbye 2023, welcome 2024 brunch at the wake. That's right. We're going to have our group brunch. Yay! Because we do like having brunch at the wake before we get off the boat. Because otherwise, you know, half of us will be going to the airport where we're going to sit around for hours. At least this way we can go and take a nap. Right? I mean, you've had a nice big meal and you're not eating the airport food. You don't have to be in a rush to get to the airport for your 4 o'clock in the afternoon flight. Okay. And then the folks that are staying locally, guess what? You can have one last really good meal before you go out and buy another one. Okay. So you can have a lot of fun with it. We do always enjoy that brunch at the break on that last day. We had a really good time with everybody. And sometimes sometimes we meet some people along the way and they just join us for brunch that day. So good. And that's where you're going to go ahead and be able to meet us, your Smoky Mountain Bears. But, you know, this time we're not alone. We are with Lindsey Jr., who is traveling in her personal capacity. In other words, don't ask her any virgin questions. You got to do that before she gets on the boat.
Well, you know, I'm like you, I can't turn it off, even if you're on vacation, but it will be me and my +1, and I will be joining you guys. And I cannot wait to just have fun and celebrate, because we've been planning for so long that I know that we're going to have a great time together. And I feel like there should be at least one matching outfit somewhere. Matching bikini. Yes. No.
We're there.
No, I think it'll be fun. I'm so excited to join you guys. But look, if you have any questions at all, even if I am there, of course, I'm just going to answer them, or at least we'll find the crew that can. And of course, we have Sean there. He's not working.
Harass me, you're gonna harass me. So here's the thing. I told you there's a lot of things that are not available for this cruise. So now, if you already have your room, do not worry. Do not worry, because you have been taken care of. But if you don't have your room yet, let me tell you. Or if you're interested in upgrading your room, there are no Rockstar Suites available or Mega Rockstar Suites available online. Check it, you can't. So what I did was I kind of put together quickly the brochure price for the Brilliant Suite. Well, we may have that available to us. We have that reserved. So if someone's interested in that, the brochure price on that was $10,302. Our price is $9,292. Now, if you pay in full before 180 days, you will get an additional pay in full discount. So that I did not include that on any of these, but I want to point out this comes with $700 in sterile loot and $600 in a bar tab. And then you get, I made one mistake on this. I'm correcting myself now. It's no, I'm right. It's 200 from Circles. Woo, I got confused.
You're good.
Yep. And then 200 a sailor loop from Miss Lindsey G. Do you notice this? Do you like how this is building here, people? Do you see? I keep stacking all this money. I don't know how it happens, So just to point out, the reason I put all the sale and stuff on each individual one, so you can take a picture if you want, or something if you're interested in a room, take a picture. And I say that to you so that way I can tell you, that way you can ask me about it later, because that's not true for every room type. Every room type gets something different. Okay, so then we have our central sea terrace. Central sea terrace, now to me, I usually prefer folks take the sea terrace over central sea terrace, because I can move you around in a sea terrace and you usually get you pretty close to what a central sea terrace would have been. But the brochure price on that would be 5,502. What that means is that's the retail. Now, all these prices, the reason they look weird, I included the taxes and port fees. Online, they don't do that until you get to the very last screen. But I want to be able to compare what the whole price is. In any event, the online price right now is 4,178. Our price, 3,878. Again, comes with 700 in sale loot. Lindsey, by the way, was adding up stuff in her head really fast to see if I was right on my numbers, by the way. And I was grateful for that. And you get $600 in a bar tab sale loot. And you get $100 from Lindsey G and $100 from Circles. Woo! Now,
Anytime I can give you guys money, you know I'm here for you.
yes, and we love that about you. Mary Jo is not wearing it right now, but she has an entire silver jewelry collection that we've now started to call Lindsey G.
Oh, there we go. Is that from that sailor loot that we worked on?
Exactly.
Very.
Yeah. So, and then of course we have our sea terrace. Now this is my favorite room. It really is. I stay in the sea terrace. I've stayed in the Brilliant Suite. I've stayed in, which is why we have it up there, is because I think the Brilliant Suite and the Cheeky Corner Suite are the two nicest of the rock stars. So we have those. But the sea terrace, my favorite room, the brochure price, before sale 5,452, the online price 4,140. Our price, again, are you noticing our prices are cheaper? That's all you have to take out of this. Okay, that contact me. We know how to hook you up and get you going with what you need. This one comes with $700 in sale loot, $600 in the bar tab, and you get another $100 from Lynch G and $100 from Circles. Now, you might go, wait a minute, Sean, you're showing me all these darn prices and none of this is available. You're right. Some of these are not available online. I happen to have the last Solo Insider for anyone who wants it. You can see the pricing on that. Obviously we are substantially cheaper than the brochure price, right? But there's an error here. You know, it's not. I'm wrong. I stand corrected. Good job, Scott. It has $600 in bar tab sailor loot. You will notice it does not have the regular sailor loot. Okay, it's not eligible for that on this one. So you get $600 of the bar tab sailor loot, then you'll get $50 from Lindsey G and $50 from Circles. So that's your Solo Insider. That is a one person Solo Insider. Thank God it's a one room, right? And then of course, we have the sea views that are available. And the green one should have said limited sea terrace. Yeah. So we were close on this. So we almost were perfect on this, but we screwed up the green one with sea view, sea terrace. But hey, not bad. So we've got everything in there. If you're interested in any of the prices, just let us know. The only reason I throw this in here is because I had people keep calling me last time, and I figured this way I have it up there and you can take a picture and you know what you get as we're going through it. So hit the next one. So that being said, Miss Lindsey, is there anything you've got to add?
No, I think that everything is put out perfectly. Yeah, you both did an amazing job. I should be taking PowerPoint lessons from you, but absolutely stunning. You guys did amazing. I am so excited to actually be able to announce that I will be sailing with you guys as a sailor. Of course, I still have my Virgin hat not too far away because we never really stop working. But since I will be on vacation with my +1, I'll try my best to relax with you guys, especially if there's spa time with Scott or pool time dancing with Sean and Mary Jo and the team. I'm ready for it. So count me in. But yes, if you're able to get booked with Sean, I know that we've been doing this pretty much once a month, but with the onboard offer of making sure you guys have this extra money, I'm only able to do this till if you book before March 31st. So we have to make sure that you're booked up and ready for that. So I can make sure to give you guys some extra money. money. So, Mary Jo can add to her jewelry collection. And of course, Lance can add to his jewelry collection, and Cindy can add to hers. Everybody can keep adding. Or who knows, maybe Daniel wants a new tattoo and he can use that $100 in the tattoo shop. So lots of opportunities for that. I'm really excited. And who knows, maybe when we're all together talking ship, when we're sailing New Year's Eve, we might look at the Dubai to Singapore sailing for 2025.
Hint, that might be the actual email that you got earlier today saying I need marketing to give me these sheets. It's just so we're clear. I made that very clear in an email earlier. And we have a appointment tomorrow for that too. So there you go. But that being said, guys, if you have any questions, please ask them. The other main reason that I'm doing this, I don't usually do these that often, but I'm doing it because, quite frankly, the hotel rooms, who knew that San Juan was such a tourist destination for New Year's Eve? I mean, it's not listed even in the tourist mags, and ask all the travel advisors. We know it's popular, but it's not like someplace that we would suddenly, if somebody said to us, plan a trip for me on New Year's Eve, we would not necessarily think, okay, San Juan. And it's leaving on the 30th. So the problem is that's a Saturday, and that's why the hotels have put in those different rates. So I'm going to encourage you that if you're interested in hotels, if I don't have something that you want, if I didn't put it in the price point you want, let me know. I do have some others that I'm waiting on contracts for. However, personally, if money is not an issue for me, I would highly endorse the OLV, the adults only. And it doesn't, when I say that, I mean OLV or Olive, it does not matter. It's exceptional customer service. It's amazing. And if that one's not there, then I would do the Residence Inn. Those two, that Residence Inn is in an extremely good location, and it's very easy and very central to everything that we're going to be doing. And for those folks that are not, if you are not within our circle, or you're not part of our group, just let me know, because obviously we will be more than happy to help you in any way we can, and accommodate you to the extent there's any space in any of our groups. Everyone who's gone with me in the past will tell you, Mary Jo, I think you'll vouch for me here, and Jessica, you'll vouch. We tend to pick up stragglers. We find, so if we don't turn people away. If there's people on board that don't have people they're hanging out with, or if they want to go to something we're going to, if we got room, we bring them right on in. It's fine. We're not those people. So that being said, again, if anybody has any questions, please, this is your shot. If you have questions for Lindsey, let me know. Go ahead and ask her, because we don't get her again after this.
I have to unmute.
Oh yes, unmute everybody. Yes, for the love of God.
And I did want to share.
Question, go ahead, but we're hanging up.
Yeah. I did want to share, if you have friends that you think might be interested in doing this with you, even if they're not here today, let them know Sean's information. So while he's got these cabins held at this great pricing, now's the time to at least start looking